morning and welcome to another edition of Energy Exchange. I'm Gary Sutton, host of the Gary Sutton Show on WOYK Radio, 6 to 9 weekdays, Monday through Friday. And I'm this morning with Josh Rode, who is the GM of Wholesale here at Shipley. And Josh, great to be with you this morning, man. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
You've made Shipley kind of your life here so far, as you and I were talking. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I started at Shipley in their convenience stores when I was 14 years old. It was a good experience with customer service. I went to Penn State, studied energy business and finance, and Bill Shipley told me to make sure I come in for an interview afterwards, and I started as an analyst in the wholesale division, and here I am.
So to say Shipley has been your working life would not be an understatement.
That's right.
You know, Josh, I want to talk this morning a little bit about the big picture here. And what is critical backup fuel? I mean, and why is it so essential for power plants and data centers and other businesses? We're hearing a lot about data centers lately. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right. So your critical backup fuel is the last line of defense that these mission critical customers have. Electricity is reliable most of the time, but grids can go down. Natural gas can get curtailed. And the backup diesel fuel is their last line of defense to keep their operation running. These customers cannot go dark. Their customers cannot go dark. So it's critical that they have that backup supply source on hand, in storage, and ready when they need it.
Shipley Energy is widely known for fuel delivery, and your wholesale division, Josh, plays a massive role in keeping the grid and key businesses running. Can you describe what that side of the business really kind of looks like to the average person?
Sure. We operate a little bit behind the scenes. You know, we're fueling the gas stations, the hospitals, the municipalities, the trucking companies that customers retail customers may interact with on a daily basis. All of those companies have risk in their supply chains. We help manage that risk. They have price risk that's related to an NYMEX commodity. We help manage that price risk. We have a 24/7 fleet of transportation vehicles that run in our market areas and deliver to customers every single day of the year, holidays included.
We're talking with Josh Rode this morning from Shipley. Josh, you're hearing a lot about data centers here in our local area recently, but how does Shipley ensure that hospitals and data centers and emergency operations have reliable fuel access, even during weather events or regional shortages?
Yeah, I think the key takeaway there is being prepared, partnering with a reliable energy supplier that is forward-thinking and is looking at forecasts and has their ear to the ground when it comes to the local energy infrastructure, making sure that tanks are filled before a crisis hits so you can respond to a crisis rather than react to it.
You can do a lot of proactive and preventative stuff, but sometimes a crisis is going to hit. You have a power outage, you have a natural disaster that's going to come up. What steps does Shipley take to mobilize quickly to help keep businesses and essential operations fueled at that point?
Yeah, so we're forward-looking. You know, we're looking out at the forecast, the weather forecasts. Again, we're very tied into the local energy infrastructure and network. So we hear when a terminal is going to go down, or if a terminal has gone down, if a refinery has gone down, if a pipeline has planned or unplanned maintenance that pops up, and we're immediately switching into emergency preparedness mode. So we're pre-filling customer tanks in those affected areas, making sure that they're ready for a potential crisis if and when it hits. We're pre-staging trucks, moving trucks to more local markets that may be affected, and possibly going out and purchasing additional fuel supplies for those critical markets, and making sure that, again, we're responding to that crisis and not reacting to it.
You've had a chance over the years to see a lot of these kind of situations. Can you give us an example of a time when Shipley managed to kind of keep the lights on literally and keep a community of business running during an outage?
Yeah, my mind initially goes to weather-related issues. So there's been multiple hurricanes over the years that Shipley has responded to and positioned trucks and assets into those local communities to keep those local communities fueled during that tough period of time. Polar vortexes, you know, they can take entire power generators off the grid and push them to their backup diesel fuel. One example of that, Shipley preemptively partnered with one of these energy producers to make sure their immense diesel storage on site was full before an energy crisis hit, and that was the polar vortex. Throughout that polar vortex, they were exclusively relying on their diesel for power generation to keep their community powered. And we made sure that they were fueled through that entire crisis and didn't have to worry about where their next load was coming from, how they were going to power their local community.
A way of being at ease there if you're a customer. For customers that can't afford any downtime, I mean, how do you plan distribution and routing so that your most critical customers are never without product?
Yeah, the key is to be prepared there. So proactive tank monitoring, redundancy built into every aspect of our supply chain. So we have redundancy built into our truck capacity. We have our drivers carded at multiple terminals, even if they're not loading at those terminals during the regular day, but they are prepared if a crisis hits and we have to go to backup plan number 1 or backup plan number 2, they can immediately load at that backup terminal and not have to worry about getting authorized to load there. We deal with, we're fueling out of multiple terminals, dozens of terminals in the Mid-Atlantic region. We source on multiple pipelines, and we purchase from dozens of reliable suppliers. So we have redundancy built into every aspect of our business from front to back. That gives our customers the comfort level partnering with Shipley that they know they're never going to run out of fuel.
You know, as an old coach, I'm always reminded that the best laid plans sometimes don't work, and you have to go to some of those redundancy plans. Talk a little bit about redundancies that are built into the system. It's like flying an airplane. You want to know there's some backup plans in case the best plan doesn't work. Same thing here with energy, right?
Right, exactly. So again, we're planning for that backup plan, but also the backup to the backup. You know, one of the biggest paddings that we have in our business is our in-house transportation division. When we see a crisis coming online, and say it takes out a certain terminal or a certain terminal market, we can reposition those trucks to run out of the secondary market, a third backup market, to make sure that customer is fueled even if their local market is out of product.
We're talking with Josh Rowe today of Shipley. And Josh, one of the things that we're reading about a lot in the news here, particularly in the New York area, we've heard a lot about data centers. They're coming in. What unique challenges do they bring you in terms of energy, and how does Shipley help solve those?
Yeah, it's been a big news cycle about data center build-outs in the Mid-Atlantic region, and specifically in our market area. They're huge energy consumers, and they cannot take a second of downtime. You know, they need power at all times, and diesel fuel provides storage capabilities that, say, the electricity grid cannot. It provides immediate backup when the power does go out or the grid does go down or natural gas gets curtailed. It provides immediate backup power to that facility. And I think Shipley is well positioned to help critical customers like data centers build out their supply plan and their resiliency to make sure they're never down.
We talked earlier about you've made Shipley kind of your working life right from the very start. From your perspective, and you've got a lot of different perspectives, having worked a lot of different places here at Shipley, what separates Shipley Energy from a typical fuel supplier in terms of partnership and logistics and expertise?
Yeah, I think we're proactive, we're responsive to customer needs, and we're vertically integrated. So, for example, we have our own in-house transportation, a fleet of transport trucks, a fleet of tank wagon trucks. We ship our own supply on the pipeline, as well as partner with other suppliers throughout our network. We partner with customers. We want to see them grow their business and them to succeed in their endeavors. So we proactively talk to them about their fuel budgets and their monitoring needs, their tank monitoring needs, and their inventory plan. So we're on top of that, 24/7, every day of the year. When a crisis hits, it's a little bit of a speed bump maybe, but certainly not an issue for their operation.
How does technology and service, like, I don't know, tank monitoring, GPS routing, 24/7 operations, improve your ability to serve critical customers faster and smarter?
Yeah, technology it gives us that little bit of leeway time so we can respond that much quicker. So tank monitoring allows us to plan loads immediately when we see that downdraw start to happen, rather than wait for that phone call from the customer. That makes sure our trucks are positioned where they need to be well in advance of any type of actual disruption. GPS allows us to reroute trucks. You know, if they need to go to that backup terminal, the driver is notified immediately through our onboard computer system, rather than waiting for them not to be able to get loaded at a terminal that's down. So it's just about being proactive rather than reactive.
We're talking with Josh Rode, General Manager of Wholesale here at Shipley this morning. Beyond emergencies, you use the word proactive a lot this morning. What are proactive steps that businesses can use right now to ensure their backup systems are ready before a crisis takes place?
Yeah, get prepared now, before an actual event hits or a disruption hits. Partner with a reliable fuel supplier like Shipley that can take care of your needs and gets comfortable with your business prior to an event happening that takes your business down or takes you offline. Getting set up beforehand allows drivers to get comfortable with the location. So when those emergency loads are needed, there's no questions asked, and it's a seamless transaction, seamless delivery.
One of the great things about Shipley is they're kind of out ahead of the curve. A lot of times when it comes to electrification, infrastructure, we're hearing a lot about AI and all those kind of things. Looking ahead, how do you see the role of reliable fuel evolving as electrification and as infrastructure become a little bit more digital?
Yeah, as a full-service energy provider, Shipley welcomes any change in the landscape of energy infrastructure and energy needs. Electrification has been a big part of that over the past decade, and electrification puts more strain on an aging grid system. So that could possibly lead to more grid downtime in the future. Fuel is a reliable source of energy that can be stored on site and can immediately switch on when needed. We think fuel is going to go tandem with the electrification needs that we see in the state and in the country, and will be an integral part of that energy demand moving forward.
And if you could leave business leaders with one takeaway about energy and resilience, or energy resilience rather, what would that be today?
Yeah, be proactive. I'm going to use that word one more time.
Yeah.
Be proactive and partner with a reliable energy supplier early, now, before you need them, before you're in a crisis, before you have downtime. If you're being reactive to those issues, you're already behind the curve. Your competition is going to be more prepared than you, and we don't want that to happen.
Reliable, proactive, preventative, words we've heard all day today. Josh, great talking to you this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
Josh Rode, GM here of Wholesale at Shipley Energy. Thanks for joining us again on this Energy Exchange.